Hi, this is a video for especially younger attorneys who want to figure out the business of law. Okay, so you figure out the kind of law, you know how to bill hours, you know how to be an associate, you know how to do those things. But law firms and law schools have never taught you about the actual business of law. And this is a video where I want to explain one aspect of it. Now, my name is Marco Brown. I own Brown Family Law in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I don't do pro bono work. I've done over 4,000 divorces. I don't need to do another divorce, okay? The pro bono work that I do is I come and I help my colleagues understand the business of law and how to have better law firms, make more money, provide better for their families, provide better for themselves, and provide better for their teams, and at the same time, not coincidentally, also serve their clients better. So this is a video about the interplay between income and the number of hours billed by an attorney. Okay, so when you're in law school, the natural assumption, what's taught, if they teach you anything about billable hours at all, which they almost never do, is that the more billable hours, the more hours you bill, the higher your income, right? Because if you bill $200 an hour or $300 an hour or $400 an hour, you just bill more hours and you get more money, okay? Simple equation. When you get into law firms, exact same equation, because they actually have, they want you to think this because it really benefits them, okay? It's an institutional thing. So this is kind of half true and absolutely false at the same time, and I'm gonna go through what I mean by that. So yes, it is true that if you bill, say, $300 an hour and you bill 2 hours instead of 1, you're probably gonna make a little bit more money. But at some point, that is actually absolutely not going to be the case, okay? At some point, you billing fewer hours is going to exponentially increase your income, okay? And this is what happened to me as I started my law firm. So I started my law firm in 2010 here in Utah. Come here because my wife wants to get a doctorate. I have no money, no network, no nothing. I went to college here and then left, but I had nothing. I loaned myself money, had $160,000 in debt from law school, and I didn't know anything about the business of law, so I just had to figure it out. And it took me 5 or 6 years to understand what I'm going to teach you here in the next, probably 10 minutes. That really the fewer number of hours I billed, the more money I made. So this graph right here, my income went like this, and it was probably more of an exponential curve, to be honest with you, as my number of hours billed went like this. Okay. I had absolutely no idea this was going to be the case. I didn't have people teaching me this. I just noticed it over time. Because at one point, I remember I had 112 active family law case files. And I was making some money off of that, but not a ton. Then when I started billing fewer hours and doing other kind of leverage things that I'll talk about, I started making exponentially more money, right? So it's this curve. So it's kind of true that the more hours you bill, the more your income goes up. But at some point, the fewer hours you bill, the vastly more income you are going to create for yourself. Okay, and let's talk about why that's true. So your objective as an attorney, unless you just love being a gopher, right? Because some attorneys just dig being an attorney, and that's totally okay. There's no shame in that. I know people that are absolutely, this is what they were called to do in life, and it's all they want to do. That's cool. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the attorneys who are good attorneys, but they want to make more money. They want to figure out the system and the game in order to make a lot of money, exponentially more money as an attorney, create that kind of indestructible wealth for their families, for their teams, and for themselves. That's who I'm talking to right now. So the objective for people like you to want to create indestructible wealth in the business of law is you want to bill 0 hours. Not 1 hour, not 2 hours, not 20 hours in a month. You want to bill 0 hours, okay? Now, really what you want to become is you want to become the executive of legal services. So a lawyer is a practitioner of legal services, just gives direct legal services to somebody and then bills an hour for it, okay? But you only have so many hours in the day, okay? Maybe you work for Kirkland & Ellis and they work you until your eyeballs fall out or whatever, but there's still only 24 hours in the day, right? We're humans, you can't do it for that long. And you're going to stop doing that after a while because those jobs suck. And when you do want to stop doing that, come talk to me, okay? I got a place for you. So what you want to do is you want to become an executive of legal services instead of a practitioner of legal services. So the way you do this is one, through leverage, okay? So you can leverage either people or technology in law firms. The technology part is, there are people that are trying to create the apps and so on and so forth. That ain't me. If that's you and you want to leverage technology that way, I mean, we use a lot of technology here to make us more effective and efficient, but not going to use a boatload of it to like take us out of providing direct legal services for people getting divorced, because that's what we do, is we do divorce. So, and we're litigators, so we have to be in it. So you can utilize it a little bit, but a lot of people are trying to find like that next big app that's going to make them a whole bunch of money in legal tech. I'm not that guy. So what you're left with, if you're not that person, is leveraging people, okay? So you have to become an executive over people. So you're leveraging those individuals that are then billing hours, paralegals, attorneys, so on and so forth. So you want to be the leader, the executive of that team that is providing the legal services, but you do not want to provide 1 hour of legal services, okay? So you want to create a team. You want to create a team under you of attorneys, paralegals, so on, vendors, so on and so forth, so they can do the direct work, okay? What this does is it detaches you from the billable hour completely. And when you detach from the billable hour and you get other people to do that, then your possible return, your possible income is infinite, right? Because it's not tied to the number of hours in a day anymore. So it can go up essentially forever, right? And that is exactly what you want, okay? Maybe it doesn't go up forever, but the potential to go up forever is a lot better than the potential to work 20 hours a day to increase your income, right? Okay. So you want to create this team, and you want to create the best team you possibly can. So if you can only get C players, get C players right now, okay? Just realize your work isn't going to be quite as good, but you want to move up very, very quickly to getting A players. And that means that you have to be able to recruit, okay? So you're doing things other than just providing legal services to attorneys. You're trying to figure out how to be an executive, how to cast vision to people, how to recruit people, how to motivate them, how to do all these things, okay? But when you do that, again, it detaches you from the billable hour and increases your potential income to infinity, okay? And then you also want to have systems down here as well. You want to create your systems. You want to create from like the moment somebody contacts you or your team. And by the way, you don't have to have your own law firm to do this, okay? This is what people don't understand. It's a lot easier if you do have your own law firm, because then you don't have to deal with partners and hiring and running things through by them. But you don't actually have to do this in your own law firm. You can be an associate in a law firm and just start building out your team within the law firm, right? Just get the ability to hire people under you, okay? And the way you do that is by showing the partners that you being an executive of the team is going to make them a whole bunch more money. So you have to come up with a plan and pitch it to them and sell it to them, and then you can do this. So if you can't do that in your present firm and you want to, great. But again, it's a lot easier if you have your own firm and you can just make your own rules. But anyway, you want to create systems down here, right? You want to figure out your technology that you're going to use. You want to write everything down from the moment somebody contacts you until they hire you, and then through the litigation process. You want that to be as written and as standardized as humanly possible, so you can bring other people in and they can read that and figure out how you attorney and how you want to do things and what your ethics are and so on and so forth. That builds cohesion within the team, and that means that your services that you're providing your clients are going to be standardized and repeatable, okay? And when you do that, then again, your income goes way, way up and you never have to bill an hour. So leverage, usually leveraging people as attorneys, create your team, get your team up to A players, and then create your systems as well. Okay, these are all executive level things. These are not just you putting your head down and billing an hour. These are really, really difficult things, far more difficult than being a really good attorney. This will stretch you as a human. But the more you do this, the more you realize that you can become an executive, and the more you become an executive, the higher your income is going to go. just the way this works. Okay, then we have this little ABR, okay? This is the key to everything if you want to be an executive and build your own team to do this. This is always be rainmaking, okay? Because, let's go to this. This is the last thing we're going to talk about in this video. Lawyers don't work for lawyers. Lawyers work for rainmakers, okay? Rainmakers are the people, they're the salespeople, they're the closing people, they're the networkers, they're the people who bring other people together and find clients and close clients, okay? If you want to be an executive, if you want to run a team like this, if you want your income detached from the billable hour, you have to figure out how to rainmake, okay? You have to be able to network, you have to be able to sell, and you have to be able to close. I'm not going to go over those in this video, but if you're interested in that, I had no idea how to do any of this, right? I think back now on my rainmaking skills at the beginning and my closing skills when I would meet with people and trying to get them to hire me. Oh, it was so terrible. I was just an order taker, right? Like it was just so bad. I wish I could go back to that guy 10 years ago and teach him this now. I would be tens of millions of dollars wealthier than I am right now. Let me tell you. But you know, we all get a learner pace, and I'm not that bright. I'm not that bright a guy. So thankfully, have kind of figured this out. But for you, if you want to do this, you can compress that time. You don't have to spend 5, 6 years like I did, 7 years, not knowing how to do this, right? You can figure this out right now and become an excellent rainmaker and then move into that executive role, detach yourself from the billable hour, and your income is going to go straight through the roof, okay? So if you have questions about this aspect of things, the sales and the closing, message me. Happy to give you the books and the programs that I listen to on a pretty much daily basis because, like I said, you always got to be rainmaking. Always. There is no way around it. And that means that you have to hone that skill, and you have to hone that skill every day because anything that's worth doing is worth doing every day. You need help with that, let me know. Totally happy to do that. But look, again, if you're the type of attorney, you just want to sit down, you want to do your work, and you want to work with a great team, fantastic. Be that person. In fact, if you're that person and you're doing family law, like contact me. I'll hire you. Let's talk. But if you're the type of person who wants to create that indestructible wealth in the business of law, learn this. Do these things. Bill 0 hours. Make way, way more money. Okay, hopefully that was helpful to you. Again, my name is Marco Brown. I own Brown Family Law in Salt Lake City. Message me wherever you are. If it's on YouTube, message me. LinkedIn, message me. Happy to help you however I can. Thanks so much for your attention.